Stocks, bonds, ETFs, straight out of downtown Chicago. This is Zach's Market Edge.
Welcome to Zach's Market Edge, the podcast about investing in your life. I'm your host, Tracy Reinick, and this week I'm joined by Maddie Johnson, the editor of the Income Investor newsletter here at Zach's, and an associate stock strategist to talk about our favorite topic always, retail. But we're back to covering the retail innovator disruptor guys. We're over the old style retail now.
So is Wall Street, apparently.
Yeah, they're over it too. Those stocks crashing down. But some of the other ones are not, the ones that are on the disruptor side. And so we've decided to take a look at it again because when we did this show in 2018, we had some of the disruptors right. We did have Stitch Fix was in there. But we were focused on a couple that I feel have let me down on the disruption. And one of those is like Williams and Sonoma. I'm still waiting for the West Elm hotels. I don't know where those are. They were supposed to be here by 2019. They clearly are not going to be here. Nobody's even mentioning them. They're building one in like Detroit, one down in Savannah, I think one in Indianapolis. And then I'm not sure where the other ones were. And Detroit is still waiting because the Shinola, speaking of disruption,
that's right.
They did it. They already opened in downtown Detroit, a beautiful old vintage building that I looked up the other day because one of my friends is going to a wedding and it's in that hotel and he's staying there. And I'm like, oh, well, I was like, how much is this? Maybe I should go to Detroit and hang out in the hotel. And it was $550 a night. And I'm like, it's Detroit. What is wrong with you? He got a special wedding rate of like $325.
But still $325 a night.
Yeah. So that's really in line with their brand though, which is a little bit more upscale.
I mean, the watches aren't cheap.
No.
They have the leather goods aren't cheap. I mean,
No.
I guess I can go in there and buy a journal.
Right.
And that still is probably $95.
Exactly. So it does go along with the brand. So I'm waiting for West Elm because they were opening up in Detroit too. But maybe we're all going to be waiting for a while on that. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. But I think isn't West Elm, they are now doing the renting of the furniture, I believe. That's a new thing. The New York Times was talking about this. Like I can rent my couch now. And then when I'm tired of it or just like, I need a new color, they can take it away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's kind of disruptive.
One of the companies that we're talking about today, I think you can rent home goods.
You can?
I think with Stitch Fix, I think you can rent.
Rent the Runway. Yeah, Rent the Runway. You can. That's right. We've talked about this.
Like pillows.
Yes.
Which I personally think is a weird concept. Just because I mean, who knows whose pet has fleas and someone maybe doesn't wash themselves regularly and
what kind of pillows? Like couch pillows?
Yeah. Okay. Like home decor pillows.
Yeah.
Maybe
they get rid of them after you rent them.
I do think they probably go through like a strenuous dry cleaning process. But like, if you need new pillows that badly, set aside some money and just buy them. And go to Target.
But maybe you're having
a
party and you want like a little bit different motif. Then it might make some sense.
That makes sense, I guess. But like, I don't know.
So let's start talking about Rent the Runway because that's one of the ones I wanted to cover today. So they are not public yet.
No.
But they are a possibility in the IPO channel. This is I'm not like announcing any kind of announcement when I say that.
It's been rumored.
Though. Yeah, this is all rumors, like a lot of these companies. But we have just suddenly seen some companies that were rumored file for the IPO. So
especially this year.
Yes. So this is a big year, as everybody knows, for the IPOs. And so Rent the Runway would be one of those that people are talking about. That's all we're saying. And as of March 2019, they had $1 billion valuation. They've raised $337 million now in venture funding. Most of their business is done online, but they have five standalone stores in the major cities in the U.S., including here in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So if you want to go into the store to get that designer gown, you can do that. But we were looking up some of their plans here because I wasn't as familiar with what their monthly subscription plans are like. And they have two, according to their website. One is called the RTR Update, and that's when you can have 4 items at once at home. You get 1 swap out per month, and it's $89. But if you do the trial, you get it for 60 days for $69. And then the second one is their most popular, they say on the site. It says popular, popular. And that's the unlimited. And that's unlimited swaps, 4 on constant rotation. And you get a bigger selection of items to choose from, 600 plus brands. The other one only has 400. And you get premium designers in that one. And I didn't write down how much it is. It was like $159 a month.
Yeah, $159 a month.
Okay. And the free trial, I don't know what the free trial was.
It was like $80. It says
Okay,
$80
that's right.
off 2 months.
Okay. So that's not so bad. And a lot of people are using the unlimited for like to get work clothes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of jobs, certain jobs, you need something a little bit nicer. You don't have the athleisure office like some people do.
Right.
So it just is more cost effective to rent the clothes and you're staying in style because you can do it by season, obviously. You're getting the newest things in than the other way around. So they've been in business 10 years now. 2009 is when they launched. So they've been around a while. A lot of people use Rent the Runway for like if they have a function, like a corporate function where they need some kind of nicer gown for women.
Yeah.
That makes it easy. We were looking up before we came on the podcast whether or not they rented out prom dresses because I was like, really? Would they? I don't know, but they do. So FYI, all you people out there, you can get a real nice like designer
really
gown.
Nice gowns, yeah.
For a lot less.
I mean, I'm just jealous because not that like I didn't appreciate the experience going with my mom, we went to Lord and Taylor and we like got my dress.
Yeah,
but it was like, I would also have appreciated it as, when I was 17, going online and having all of these choices with these top brands. And I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, so I've rented from Rent the Runway for New Year's Eve.
Okay.
In a friend's wedding. And it was great because you're able to pick your normal size, what you are, and then an extra size. You're like, then you read the reviews. Does it run small? Does it run true to size? Does it run big? And if you think that this might not fit me in my normal size, you get an extra size to try on.
Okay.
And what's nice here, living here in Chicago, is that we do have
the store,
the physical store.
Yeah.
So what you can do is you can get, just as a personal example, because I'm in Chicago, the store is here in Chicago. You can have the items shipped to the store so that you can try the items on in the store, in the fitting room with Rent the Runway employees there.
Yeah.
And if those, let's say those 2 tops, those 2 dresses just don't work, there's other options there. There's like plenty of other options there in the actual physical store.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily have to like leave quote unquote empty handed.
Right.
That you would sometimes find like have to do like in a normal retail situation.
Yeah.
But if you don't, live in a city that doesn't have a Rent the Runway store, you obviously get shipped to you and then you kind of decide if it works or not.
Yeah. It's nice they send the 2 sizes.
Oh, it's so nice.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like the first model of one of the disruptors that's out there. It's like basically the renting of the clothes. And then that's different, though, than one of the ones that did go public, which is Stitch Fix.
Stitch Fix, yeah.
Because people might get them confused. Like, what's Stitch Fix? Because that also has like a month, or no, it doesn't have a monthly rental plan. Does it? No.
I believe I thought it had a monthly fee.
I don't know, does it? But it's a little different because that one, you do this whole test online to figure out what your style is. And then you work with an online stylist, your own personal stylist, who then will send you outfits in the mail every month. And then you can either purchase those items or you send them back, right?
Yes, that's the model. You do have to pay a $20 styling fee for each shipment.
Okay.
So there's
there is
no
something.
monthly fee.
Yeah.
There's no monthly like box fee. You just have to pay the styling fee.
Okay. And the thing with them is that they want to keep you, any of these want to keep you as a client. And their active clients in this last quarter were up 17% to 3.1 million now, active clients. But that is down in the growth from a year ago when it was 30%. in the growth of the active clients. So, but that's not surprising. The bigger you get, the harder it is to grow at these 20, 30, 40% on active clients. It just is once you're getting into the millions of active clients. So it's still nice to see the double digits.
Yeah.
And they are really expanding on the men's segment. So for all you guys listening out there who are like, oh, they're droning on about like prom dresses or whatever, Stitch Fix is really going after the men's market.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Lululemon doing the same. Mm-hmm. And now they are more loyal, apparently, according to this last conference call. Once they get them in the system, they're less likely to cancel and leave out of there.
Well,
so,
I mean, how easy is it to receive a box of clothes that fit you and know they look good on you, and then you just buy them right there? You don't have to go to the store. Well, I know a lot of my guy friends who use Trunk Club, which is a very similar model to Stitch Fix, and they love it. So
that's through Nordstrom's.
That's
now,
through
right?
Nordstrom, which is JWN.
Yes.
They've had it rough.
People forget, but Trunk Club was its own entity,
yes.
And then they were bought out by Nordstrom.
Exactly.
Okay.
So like that like lazy way of getting clothes, clearly works,
right?
But that it's just like
it's like an outfit is sent to you once the stylist like talks with you and everything. Yeah. So then they get to know kind of what your look is.
Exactly. I mean, Rent the Runway you have to take a survey basically about like, well, what before you like sign up.
Okay.
For like one of like the Update or Unlimited, you're like, well, what clothes are you shopping for? Like, what's your style? Like, what, yada yada yada. So like, then you kind of are this like broad range of with 400 plus brands. It's narrowed kind of for you. So
okay. They also have kids at Stitch Fix. They also did on Rent the Runway too, I noticed.
That's new.
That's a newer area. Yeah. So they're really expanding into the kids. For Stitch Fix right now, the kids, and they're expanding in the United Kingdom. So that's all just started up. That's a small percentage of the overall business right now. So not having that big of impact, but you would assume the UK, as the brand becomes known over there, that will become a bigger portion of what's going on. And they also said during that quarter that their algorithms are doing better with the women in figuring out what they want to be buying. So not just the stylists, but whatever algorithm they have running on what you are buying and or sending back and all of that is making the women customers more loyal too, because obviously I want to get clothes I'm interested in. So if the computer's figuring out what I like, then that will help me stick around. So the women are still the big drivers of Stitch Fix business for now, but I kind of like that they're expanding on the men's side.
For sure.
So Stitch Fix up big after their recent earnings. Just as a comparison, so Stitch Fix, if you compare it with Nordstrom, which has the Trunk Club in there, yes, it's a smaller portion of their business over there, but Nordstrom trading very cheap, just over 9 times now, because it's one of the ones that everyone's like, they're doomed, they're not going to make it. And they pay a dividend yielding almost 5% now because the stock price, stock has really come down. Stitch Fix, no dividend, obviously. They just went public in 2017. PE is 91 now over at Stitch Fix. So you are buying the growth. That's what you're buying here with this new kind of model. So, okay, so we covered kind of that model. But now there's a new guy on the block, I feel, that just went public, Revolve. I don't know if anyone else out there is paying attention to Revolve. You might have, because it had the big surge on the day of the IPO, which is close to Beyond Meat's surge. At one point, it was up 100% on the day of the IPO. I think it finished up like 90 or something. Mm-hmm. And then it got a pop again, and it's still hot. Got a lot of the traders in there messing around with it now, obviously. But ticker now is RVLV. It now has a market cap of $2.4 billion.
Okay.
It wasn't supposed to when it went. It's supposed to be at least half of that, but fine. Everybody's thinking bigger things. So what is Revolve? Why is that? How is that different from like a Stitch Fix or these other ones?
So Revolve is like, I don't want to say like your basic online like retailer, but it is like, that's how it's set up. So think of like ASOS is like another good example where it's like this like central location for all of like the top trendy brands.
Okay.
Trendy as in these are what the kids are wearing, the youths are wearing, if you will.
So who's their target audience? Is it like 30 and under?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because they have done, what's unique about Revolve is that they partner with Instagram influencers.
Okay.
And they use Instagram influencers to wear the product on the site, and then on specifically on Revolve's Instagram page, and then these influencers own Instagram pages. They'll be tagging Revolve, hashtag Revolve, Revolve by so and so. Like all these hashtags will have Revolve in it.
Okay.
So these influencers that'll have 750,000 followers, 1 million followers will be like, well, what's Revolve? And then they'll go to Revolve and they'll see like, oh, well, I can get my favorite brands on here, and I can, and I don't have to go to a mall, or I don't have to, go to a typical old style department store, and it's really cool, and it's like, it's young, and that's what makes them unique.
It seems like they are really crushing it on the Instagram side then, that they've figured out Instagram for retail. I know a lot of them have,
100%.
but that's like huge. It sounds like driving their business.
They're huge at, like we were talking about today, they're huge at Coachella.
Okay.
So they're known specifically for their parties at Coachella.
Okay.
And they are parties, and like you have to be invited. They have DJs, and all the influencers are there. And these are like top grossing, if you will, influencers.
Yeah.
Like they make money with their sponsored posts.
Okay.
I feel like if anyone gets invited to their Revolve parties, and it's just that's for the like past like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, it's like, oh yeah, the Revolve party at Coachella.
Okay. So it sounds like as Instagram rolls out ways for revenue, and like, that ways that brands can actually be on the site and you can buy like right from the site and all of that Revolve is going to crush it when they do that.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So like we've also talked about a lot of influencers who have partnered with like Nordstrom, for instance, and Express, EXPR, to roll out their brands, which is really smart. Right. They have like the capital and like the mass and like the brand awareness to do that. But one influencer in particular, Song of Style, she used Revolve to roll out her brand, which I'm like, well, that's a perfect combination. That's a perfect partnership. It's the audience. It's like you have the base right there already. I mean, you've already working with probably them in the past with Instagram partnerships and at Coachella and everything. So it just made sense probably.
So they carry clothes, accessories, shoes. I saw beauty. Beauty was an interesting category though. Like could they be a threat to Ulta and Sephora?
I don't personally think so unless they roll out a rewards program.
Okay.
I'm a huge shopper at a huge shopper at Sephora. I have a ton of points there. It really just over like the past like 6 months, I've all of a sudden spent a lot of money at Sephora, and I have all these points, and I'm like, well, I have to keep spending money there to get more points,
right? And
then to use my points for all of these free samples and the good, like basically the goodie bags that Sephora offers,
right?
And the same thing is at Ulta.
Yeah.
Once you start shopping there religiously, so to speak, it pays off.
Yeah.
So why would I buy my beauty products, the same beauty products at Revolve, and not get anything back?
Right.
It doesn't make sense for me.
Right. No. Yeah, that's what I was wondering when I looked at it. And I feel like for those who are in these really good rewards programs with these other brands, you feel like you're almost like, cheating or something if you do buy anything somewhere else that you can get at the other one. And then you do feel like, well, that was dumb because I get points and all this other stuff over here. Okay, so because that made me a little worried when I saw the beauty category on there. I wondered.
And I will say beauty, it's going to be the trendy beauty brands. Okay. The beauty brands that you're going to scroll through, you'll see an ad for on Instagram.
Okay.
And be like, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably at Revolve.
Okay. So Revolve doesn't actually manufacture anything of its own. These are all.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's all brands you would know. Like I was looking at some of the apparel, and I saw Free People all over the place, which is owned.
You're going to see Vans. You're going to see Nike.
Yes, I saw the Vans.
Yeah.
Free People is owned by Urban Outfitters, for those who don't know.
Yes.
So they have their own standalone stores, and they sell in the department stores, and now they are also supplying Revolve, basically.
Yeah.
So if in a roundabout way to get Free People, you can also...
And Free People's hot right now. Like that boho chic style is really, it's been on trend, I would say, I don't know, for a few years now at least. And I would also think that Revolve and like the buyers at Revolve.com are good about seeing the trends and see what brands are good at following the trends. And like I said, where the kids are going.
Right.
So if Free People falls out of fashion, you might not see Free People on Revolve.com anymore.
Right. For sure. Okay. Yeah. It seemed pretty trendy to me.
Yeah.
Just looking at just what their products were. So I was wondering, and we may not know, but if any of the big wholesale apparel and accessory makers like a GIII apparel or a PVH, but probably GIII is what I'm thinking, are making anything that goes on Revolve's site. They may be, because they're the ones who are supplying a lot of the big brands that go to the department stores. Mm-hmm. And the site reminded me a lot of what you might find at like a Nordstrom too, or a Macy's.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many brands on here. They
so
very well could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another way to think about it when you're thinking about Revolve and like how their business model works.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
also, one thing I wanted to mention about Revolve is they're one of the online retailers that uses the Afterpay payment option.
Yeah.
So I think that's another draw for like younger
and that's where
consumers.
I can pay, like say I buy a $200 dress, I can buy in 4 payments of $50 each.
4 installments. Yeah. No, I don't think there's any interest. So I've used that on, I think I actually might have used that on Revolve.com before. Okay. But I've also used that. I mean, you can use that on the Urban Inc. brands too.
You can.
And basically almost any retailer now online. Right. But I feel like Revolve was one of the first to implement it.
Okay.
Or at least that is where I've seen it. I saw it first.
Okay.
But Afterpay is just one of the brands that does it, that offers it.
Yeah.
Affirm is another.
Okay.
It's another like installment payment option.
Yeah.
And Quad Pay, I think that's another one as well.
Okay.
It's just a thing.
That's what's hot out there.
And
right now.
It is what's hot
in installments.
Yep.
Okay, so that's one we'll keep an eye on here. Revolve as one of the disruptor, innovator type of retails that's out there right now. But another one, this one has not gone public yet either, but it's gotten a lot of buzz in the last couple of years, and a lot of people are wondering whether or not they're going to go, is Glossier.
Yes.
They've raised $186 million now, over 5 rounds of funding. They have a $1.2 billion valuation as of March 2019, which is just slightly bigger than Rent the Runway, which I'm kind of surprised about. They actually have 2 permanent retail locations now in LA and New York. They have done pop-ups because we had one here in Chicago.
Went to it.
Yeah.
It was really cute. I wish it was permanent.
I know. I wonder if they're not going to expand a little bit more on the permanent side.
Yeah. It was in the West Loop too, and it was right off like the popular Randolph drag.
Yeah.
And I was like, this should
be there.
It should be.
Glossier. Come back. So this is direct to consumer beauty.
Yes.
And they had their own brands though. This is what's different than this one from like a Revolve though, right? Glossier is the brand of Glossier.
Yes, it is Glossier.
They're not
beauty
carrying,
and skincare.
Yeah, they're not carrying anybody else.
No.
Okay. So what else makes it so hot? Is it just because their line is that good? Like their brand is that good?
The brand is that good. It's a lot of it has to do with the price point, I think.
Okay.
It's affordable.
What does that mean? Is it like under $20 for
some stuff?
Some stuff. Okay.
Like the skincare is let me just pull it up. So like you can get A lot of it is bundled together too. So if you wanted to try something, you can get like a bundle of like 3 things for like $40.
Okay.
And full size products.
Okay.
You can get masks, like face masks. I can't say that word. For like under $40 or sometimes even under $30, and that's hard to come by, I think. Right now in the skincare, the wellness industry, like some good, like if I feel like I have to shell out at least $45 for a mask.
Yeah.
So the price point is an approachable, and like it's a good entry point.
Okay.
If you're like, if you want to start experimenting with applying makeup and like using like having a skincare routine.
Yeah.
But it also has to do with the packaging.
Okay.
So if you ever ordered something with Glossier, it comes in this quote unquote millennial pink, which is like this, like it's a very specific shade of pink, and it's like it's a reusable pouch. And it's just like the font is there's something about the font that works, and the shade of pink, and like the fact that you can reuse the pouch for not just storing makeup, but like putting like your phone cord in the pouch and then putting it in your work bag or something like that. It's just everything just seems to like work together, and like they use like the models are really diverse.
Is there any staying power with it though? I feel like is it just a trend for right now or the next like year or two, and then no one will care? Or can they innovate enough to stay on top as they are right now? I guess that's my question.
I think they're going to be as big as they are as long as the skincare and beauty mega power, like as long as like that keeps on like being as powerful as it is as a business entity.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So as
like,
long as beauty remains hot, then Glossier will remain hot, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I haven't seen them partner with any big celebrity or influencer, because I feel like that's a potential avenue for them to go down, like Glossier by so and so, and then that person will have a specific line at Glossier. I mean, that's money right there.
Yeah. But maybe they don't need to yet.
They probably don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got a 1.2 billion valuation.
Yeah.
So they have been asked many times about the IPO possibilities, obviously, because they've had 5 rounds of funding now. And they're just like, no, we're not going there yet. But just like some of these other ones, you'd never know what's going to be right around the corner, especially with the big success of the Revolve IPO now.
Yeah.
I do have to admit, I was a little dubious when Revolve decided to go. Yeah, I was like, man, retail's not looking too
even
hot
though
right
like
here.
I shop on Revolve.
Yeah.
Like, and I would say I browse on Revolve fairly regularly.
Okay.
And I always like now I know to like look on Revolve if I'm like shopping for something specifically. I'll see if it's on that website, and I'll see like if then I'll consider buying it on Revolve. But I was like, oh my God, they're gonna go IPO.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, oh no, like
Right.
it's not. It's just like it's another retailer to me. It's just like it's just another retailer in my eyes. But But when you consider, I guess, what they do beyond the online landscape, then they are more than just.
Well, they're able to use their data that they're gathering from people like you
Exactly.
to figure out what you're ordering, how often you're ordering it, and then they're able to keep their inventory a little bit leaner than some of the other retailers are able to do. And that's always a good thing with the retail, is to have lean inventories.
For sure.
So, so we'll watch Glossier and see if that one goes. I feel like we've covered a lot of the innovators now. Is that everybody? I think so.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on Williams and Sonoma with the West Elm, the hotels. They might make the list the next time.
Maybe.
But nobody's even asking that I know of, like, hey, whatever happened to your hotels? I'm the only one who cares. And Shinola, I guess, but nobody's ever talked about them going public.
No, because they have the store here in Chicago.
Yeah, they have some physical stores now.
And I would like to, I guess, for them maybe to make for them to open up a hotel here.
Well, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am willing to go to Detroit to try it too. Maybe I could snag an invite as a +1 with my friend who's going to that wedding there.
There you go.
I got to work on that one. Okay, so let's recap the tickers too, because some of these don't have tickers yet, but we gave you a lot of different ideas on how you can kind of play this retail innovation side. So there was Stitch Fix, which is public. SFIX is that ticker. Revolve is now public. RVLV. Nordstrom has the Trunk Club, and it's the old school, but you're getting it cheap here. JWN is the ticker there. Then there's the old mainstays like ULTA, ULTA, which I do own in my own personal portfolio. And then some of the other ones that are supplying Revolve, we know Urban Outfitters is because they have free people over there. So that ticker is URBN. We don't know about G3 Apparel or PVH, but those are G3 I guess I always call it. I do own that one as well. PVH is just PVH. And then for the Instagram angle, and this is why I
FB, man.
love, I mean, Facebook, it gets no love because of the Facebook side, but Instagram is where it's at. I mean, basically Revolve would not exist without Instagram.
It wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because it just wouldn't.
Yeah. So Instagram, and it's figuring out how to monetize all of these influencers and the brands that are over there. So,
well, also they're figuring out how to monetize more than influencers are already monetizable.
Right.
I think I said that word right?
Yes.
That's already innovative in and of itself, I guess.
Yeah. So a lot of good things are actually going on the retail side. It's not all doom and gloom. Everybody's being Amazon.
You literally just have to go on Instagram to find the disruptors, the retail disruptors. That's where they all are. That's how I find
exactly.
That's how I found Revolve.
Yeah. And I'm sure the Shinola Hotel is over there too.
Absolutely.
Just FYI. Okay, so we'll be back again next week with. Or at least I will be, with some more stocks on the Market Edge here. So you don't want to miss a single episode. You want to subscribe and get us. We are on Apple Podcasts as the Market Edge and on SoundCloud. And I know a lot of you are over there to get the 2-for-1 special deal on SoundCloud with the Value Investor Podcast as well. And we're now on Spotify. So get us over there on Spotify, but be sure to get us somewhere. And I'll see you again next time.
This material is being provided for informational purposes only, and nothing herein constitutes investment, legal, accounting, or tax advice, or a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold a security. Do not act or rely upon the information and advice given in this podcast without seeking the services of competent and professional legal, tax, or accounting counsel. Publication and distribution of this podcast is not intended to create, and the information contained herein does not constitute an attorney-client relationship. No recommendation or advice is being given as to whether any investment or strategy is suitable for a particular investor. It should not be assumed that any investments in securities, companies, sectors, or markets identified and described were or will be profitable. All information is current as of the date herein and is subject to change without notice. Any views or opinions expressed may not reflect those of Zacks Investment Research as a whole.